Detective, shall we head to the hotel so you may begin your work?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's be off then. Looks like it isn't just the police who have been lax lately. The Idlands building inspector ought to be fired. Follow me. It's probably best Maxwell hasn't seen the state of the hotel. He would be devastated. I should warn you, some of the other hotel guests are a bit, rowdy. I was forced to defend myself when a few became a bit handsy, shall we say. The registered patrons are in a more exclusive area of the hotel, though, and do not associate with this sort of rabble. Shall we be off?
What do you mean the other patrons are rowdy?
I had not been in this part of the hotel for some time. Perhaps there is some sort of sporting event that has them agitated. Several of them tried to grab me and, well, their clothing was certainly not suitable for polite company. Shall we be off?
I'm gonna look around here first.
Very well. We can commence into the hotel as soon as you are ready. I wish we still had the staff to keep up this area of the hotel. It's in quite a state of disrepair. Shall we be off?
Yeah, let's go.
Very good. This way. Drat, the elevators seem to be out of order on this level. We'll have to take the long way around.
First time I met a feral, I hoped it would ignore me because I wasn't made of meat. I guess they'll eat anything. Damn! You see any more?
Watch your step. Bit of a mess in here. This elevator leads to the exclusive area of the hotel. You should feel quite privileged that they will be allowing you in. After you, the elevator is right there. You need to speak to Maxwell. Go ahead and activate the control panel there.
Well, well. This place just got a little more interesting.
Greetings! Welcome to Vault 118. Your home away from home, underground. Are you the detective we sent for?
It's me, Pearl. I've returned with the investigator.
Let me just get the door for you.
Go ahead, detective.
Well, it's about time the police sent someone out to investigate. We have many important residents and they're very worried.
What happened? Who died?
It's Mr. Parker, the primary owner and financier for the hotel. This is just a disaster. Have a look at the crime scene for clues. And ready, we can discuss your findings.
Sounds like trouble.
They're at the crime scene again. Don't they realize that they're going to disturb the evidence? You'd better come with me, Detective.
I shall return to my workstation and allow you to take things from here.
What the hell do you think you're doing? This is a crime scene.
Do you not see it? The glory of the thing? The artistry.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Excuse me?
Ezra, you have outdone yourself. Oh, this is your finest work. There is more emotion in his death than most have had in their entire lives.
I'll
Our
be
friend
here
is
as
dead,
long as
Mr.
you'll
Opina.
have me.
Have you no respect?
I'm just saying that at least he had the decency to make a spectacle of it. There is nothing worse
Please,
than
if I may.
That's
If
what
I
this
could
is to
just
you.
have your attention.
You're sick.
I'm sorry for shouting, but the detective has arrived and shall begin the investigation henceforth. Please return to your rooms until the detective has examined the crime scene and had a chance to come speak with you. Have a look at the crime scene for clues. And when you're ready, we can discuss your findings. You are free to question the residents, but their safety is our priority. So unless you have solid evidence, I would avoid accusations.
Is this blood? Looks like the brain enclosure was smashed. There we go. A baseball bat? Huh. What's this doing here? Red paint? This isn't blood. It's red paint.
Hello again, Detective. Was there anything else?
Your residents are robots.
Not robots, Detective. Well, not exactly, anyway. I believe the term they use is robo-brain. Back before the war, the residents decided the best way to wait it out was to put their brains inside robotic chassis. Was there anything else?
That's not blood around the body. It's red paint.
Mr. Santiago would definitely have red paint, but surely he wouldn't have... Would he? This is just terrible, Detective. Was there anything else?
I found the murder weapon.
Oh no. That's the bat from Mr. McKinney's movie. You don't think he could be involved, do you? I can't imagine him ever doing such a thing. Was there anything else?
Tell me about the victim.
Mr. Ezra Parker was the primary owner and financier for the hotel. He had vast experience managing venture projects around the world. It was his idea to have our premier clients become investors in the vault section of the hotel. He worked with Vault Tech to have this built to their every specification. Was there anything else?
I'm not sure where I should start.
I suppose you should try to figure out how he died, and then who had the means and motive to kill him. Once you have enough evidence, then I suppose you'll need to confront the killer. Was there anything else?
Never mind.
I'll be here should you need me.
Got it.
There we are.
Progress on construction of the second wing of the vault is completely stalled. Once the premier area of the vault had been completed, funding seems to have been cut off. My supervisors have informed me that they haven't received payment from Mr. Parker, and Vault-Tec won't pay out of pocket to continue construction. I've repeatedly approached Ezra about the finances, but he keeps telling me that Mrs. Riggs hasn't transferred the funds. However, when I asked her, Juliana said that she had just given Ezra extra for the gold paint in the rooms. I've hired an investigator to look for signs of embezzlement in a few weeks.
Sounds like Ezra was embezzling from his investors.
Why'd you do it, huh? He deserved better than that.
You think I'm stupid? I saw the way he looked at you. You gonna tell me that's nothing?
It wasn't like that. We were friends. He helped me out of a tight spot or two is all.
I couldn't stand by like some pasty-faced Percy while he put the moves on my best girl.
But now the law is on our tail. What are we going to do?
Come away with me. Let's leave this dark hole of a city behind. We can be in Buenos Aires by tomorrow.
Oh, I want to believe you, I do, but they'll never let us go.
Then we'll make our stand here. I've got a gun for each of us.
No, 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 no. The line is, then we'll make our stand here. Two lovers together with a bullet for each of them.
God. Why can't I ever get that line? Forget it. I can't do this right now.
Ugh, fine. I'm going to the beach.
Hello, Detective. How can I help? Did you have questions about the case?
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
It's obviously Santiago. He keeps going back to look at the crime scene.
I found your baseball bat at the crime scene. Care to explain how it got there?
Someone is clearly trying to frame me for the murder. It's probably Santiago. You saw him skulking around the crime scene.
What were you and Gilda talking about when I walked in?
Oh, we were just rehearsing a scene. Nothing to worry about.
Maybe later.
Okay. Just let me know how I can help.
The detective's life isn't an easy one, but it rarely lacks for excitement.
Nice.
If they didn't want it open, they should have bought a better lock, huh?
Are these plastic? Why would he have plastic skulls? There we go.
Welcome to the Vault 118 gift shop. Need to restock on hunting or fishing supplies?
Did you have any thoughts on the case?
I'm afraid not, Detective. We're really at a loss, which is why I was sent to find you. Looking for a gift to bring back to that special someone?
What have you got?
Keepsakes, hunting equipment, and a variety of small personal items. Forgot a personal item at home.
Let's see what you have.
Let me know if you find something you like.
Never get stuck in one of these things again. It'll be too soon.
Well. If it isn't the long arm of the law. Tell me, are you a devotee of the arts? Does that cruel muse call you to her entrapping bosom?
Art is life. Without it, we are no different than animals.
Perhaps, if all we are is a sentience floating in a suit of flesh, or metal, I suppose, then art is the only true communion with the world. Tell me, what does this piece say to you?
It's about composition, the balance of colors and emotions and the struggle to maintain internal order.
Indeed. This was the last piece I did in a series of portraits of Gilda. Number 1378. Her emotional landscape is superimposed on the portrait. The reality of the subject is distorted as the ego attempts to project itself. Tell me, what does this one say to you?
It's the war! Bombs from every direction. No up or down. The world turned on its head.
I suppose in a way it must be. Art shapes the world, and the world shapes art in return. All art must therefore be constantly reborn through the lens of contextual and historic interpretation. We must ascend. And what art this one? And please be honest, for art without honesty is just politics.
This is bullshit. You're talking out your ass and wasting my time.
Got it in one. Truth be told, this is my best-selling piece. I did this series under a pseudonym, of course. This series has made more money than any of my serious works. And I did the whole thing as a lark. What does that tell you about the value of art to the common man, huh? Ah, my fellow connoisseur of the art. Here to see my latest work?
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
The person you should be looking at is Juliana Riggs. That Philistine would not know art from her own excrement. She and Ezra had a rather dramatic fight recently. You could hear her banshee screeches all the way across the hotel.
What were Juliana and Ezra arguing about?
I don't know. I was painting at the time and I was trying to block it out. Though I bet Gilda probably heard them. Maybe you should check with her.
I found red paint at the crime scene. Know anything about that?
No, actually. Ezra borrowed my last can and now I can't find it.
I think you should explain why you keep returning to the crime scene.
It's for inspiration, detective. The others do not like to think about it, but even we shall die someday. Like Prometheus's torch, it kindles within me the fire to create as much art as I can with the time that I have.
It sounds like you've done a lot of paintings of Gilda. Why her?
Our Gilda is a very singular creature, detective. Do you not see the joie de vivre from within her? I have never met another who clings to life so tenaciously, who lives so in the moment. I must admit I was quite smitten with her for a time.
You're still in love with Gilda, aren't you?
So what if I am? What business is it of yours? She deserves someone who truly understands her ephemeral beauty, not that brute actor.
Maybe later.
Good. I hope my paintings are able to open your mind to new possibilities.
Well now, if it isn't the brave detective. I haven't seen someone with a body like that in far, far too long.
Oh, you're not so bad yourself.
You should have seen me before all this. Red hair that was the envy of every girl and legs for days, darling. I'm sure you'd rather hear some of my stories from the silver screen rather than talk about that nasty murder business.
I must say, you're quite the actress.
What can I say? It just comes naturally. Surely you must be here for my salacious stories of the silver screen.
Have you ever done radio? Your voice is quite enchanting.
Well, darling, play your cards right, and maybe I'll whisper some sweet nothings in your ear. Care to hear some of my stories, detective?
I must say, I've known flesh and blood girls who aren't half the woman you are.
Keep it up, Tiger, and we'll find out if you can handle how much woman I am. Surely you must be here for my salacious stories of the silver screen.
Why don't we grab a bottle of wine and go watch the sunset?
Sounds good, detective. That was
great, Detective, but we probably shouldn't make a habit of this. Catch you later, Tiger. Hey there, Tiger. Here for more stories about my acting career, or something else?
I had some questions to ask.
Sure, darling. What did you need?
Apparently, Juliana had a big argument with Ezra a few days before he died. Did you happen to overhear any of the conversation?
Oh, yes. I haven't seen a woman go off like that since Teresa Dubois fired her costume designer. But to get back to your question, it was fever pitch, Detective. She had apparently gone to the Overseer's office to check on the state of things and found it in horrible disrepair. But, and this is where it gets interesting, it sounded like she found something that really set her off. Couldn't hear what, though. Did you need something else?
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
Well, it is a bit strange how obsessed Santiago has been with the murder. I mean, he's always been a bit obsessive, though. He did a whole series of paintings of me, hundreds, said I was his muse. It was flattering for a while, but the man is a bit much, even for me. Did you need something else?
I found Keith's baseball bat at the scene of the murder. Any thoughts on how it got there?
I don't know, Detective. I can't really imagine Keith killing Ezra. Did you need something else?
I've gotten the impression you've had an affair with Santiago.
Look, I love Keith, I do. But sometimes he just can't give me the attention I need. A girl gets lonely, Detective. It only lasted a few dozen years. The man's a bit much, even for me. Did you need something else?
I found a love letter to Ezra in your room. Know anything about it?
Oh, Keith. I thought he was finally over him. Did you need something else?
You need to come clean about Keith and Ezra.
Look, Detective, I've known about Keith and Ezra for a long time. We're both movie stars. It's just part of the life. Why would I be mad? Did you need something else?
What were you and Keith talking about when I came in?
Oh, that? We were rehearsing. Gotta stay sharp if we're going to rebuild Hollywood. But Keith always gets flustered when he's upset. Did you need something else?
Tell me about yourself.
My favorite subject. Simply put, darling, I'm the greatest actress in the world. When this international scuffle blows over, I shall return to the silver screen and lead the world to a new golden age of cinema. Did you need something else?
Maybe later.
I'll be around, languishing from your inattention.
Tell me about yourself.
Did you know they were thinking of making a TV show of the Silver Shroud? Between you and me, Keith's agent had an inside track to get him the role. Did you need something else?
Tell me about yourself.
Did you know that while filming Night of the Fishman's Return, Cynthia Marsh had the most terrible allergic reaction to the Fishman suit? More than half the scenes had to be done with her stunt double, and that stunt double ended up having an affair with her co-star. Did you need something else?
Tell me about yourself.
Keith and I first met when we acted together in Empire on the Nile. It was a period piece, huge production budget. He played Mark Antony, and I, of course, played Cleopatra. Ooh, how I hated that black hair, though. Sean Holzman, he was the director, you see. Well, he threw the most lavish set parties. They were absolutely bacchanalian. Did you need something else?
Tell me about yourself.
Did you know that I was supposed to star in Love Set Sail? The only reason that bitch Vera got the part is because her uncle was the producer. Did you need something else?
Tell me about yourself.
I used to do musicals back when they were in fashion. The Beautiful Cigar Girl, Wagons on the Plain, A Woman of the Royal Navy. They were ever so much fun. Did you need something else?
Tell me about yourself.
Keith and I first met when we acted together. He played Mark Antony. Sean Holzman. Did you need something else?
Maybe later.
I'll be around. Hey there, Tiger. Here for more stories about my acting career, or something else?
Sure.
Did you know that I was supposed to star? Did you need something else?
Never mind.
I'll be around, languishing from your...
Right?
Hey there, Tiger. Here for more stories about my acting career, or something else?
All right.
He'll deny ever saying it, but Keith once told me he caught Vince Natali and Sergio Amore together at a nightclub in a compromising situation. Did you need something else?
Hello, Mr. Whiskers. Who's a pretty kitty?
Juliana, Mr. Whiskers died last month. This is Scruffy. Remember?
Oh, of course. Silly me.
Just
Bomb
let me
could
have
go
a
off
look
in
at
this
the
place and no
neural
one would be the
interface
wiser.
matrix, and I'm sure I can clear that.
No, it's not that. I've just caught another cold. Probably something that got in when they sent Pearl out.
Oh, God. Not this again. Last month you were convinced you had the measles.
You're not a doctor. What would you even know about it? Besides, I think it may be malaria.
First of all, I am a doctor.
Yes, but not a real doctor. Robotics isn't an actual medical degree.
Secondly, I've told you time and again, you can't get sick inside the suit. It's not physically possible.
I know when I'm getting sick, Bert. Now why don't you just wander off and play in your lab? Mr. Scruffy and I are going to rewrite the will, so he will get everything when I die because horrible Bert didn't believe me.
Oh, God, Juliana.
Have fun,
Whatever.
dear.
I'm good. Hello again. Did you need something?
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
Oh, well, that's not really my field of expertise, but I'm sure there are probably some clues at the crime scene. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
I heard that Juliana and Ezra had an argument a few days before he was found dead. Tell me about that.
Well, I was in my lab at the time, so I didn't hear it. But Juliana has always been rather critical of Mr. Parker. I think she found something in the overseer's office. I wasn't listening when she told me about it. I kind of had my head in my research. I don't know, really. I try to let her handle all the money stuff. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
Tell me about yourself.
Oh, well, I'm a scientist. You've probably met my wife, Juliana, already. Not sure what else to say, really. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
Tell me about your research.
Well, I was one of the leads on the team that created the first robo-brains, the precursors to our model. Most people don't find it all that interesting, and I'd rather not bore you. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
I'd like to hear more about your research.
Oh, wonderful. No one else here really wants to talk about it. Functionally, this model is more or less the same as the previous versions I worked on, but without the neural inhibitor and the reconditioning. The voice modulator seems to have some minor issues interfacing with the neural matrix, which can add some moodiness. But that's easily solved with regular tune-ups. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
I'd like to hear more about your research.
I'm afraid that's really all I should say about it. I mean, it is still classified, but I wanted to help with the investigation. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
RoboBrains have a voice modulator? Tell me about that.
That's what allows us to recreate our original voices. They can mimic any normal human voice, actually. I've speculated for some time that the issues we had with our recruited subjects is due to the brain attempting to preserve a sense of self. Maintaining our original voices helps reinforce the neural network, sort of like playing music for an Alzheimer patient. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
Maybe later.
Very well. I'll just get back to my work then.
Hello, Detective. Did you have a question about the heinous murder?
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
If you ask me, it's one of those actors. Or that horrible painter. Their type is always the cause of violence.
I heard you had a big fight with Ezra a few days ago. Care to explain?
Oh, well, it wasn't that big a deal, really. He wanted more money to pay for repairs on the hotel. I wasn't feeling well that day and lashed out a bit at the poor man. I really should have listened to him more.
There's evidence Ezra was embezzling from his investors.
Oh, well, I really don't believe that. Mr. Parker wouldn't do such a thing, I'm sure.
What's with all the junk in here?
These are our things. We're just waiting till the war blows over so we can bring them back to the mansion.
Maybe later.
Good luck catching the murderer, Detective.
All these vaults run together for you, too?
Hello, Detective. How can I help? Did you have questions about the case?
I found a love letter to Ezra in your room. Know anything about it?
I should have never written it. I just couldn't take it any longer.
Tell me about you and Ezra.
Oh, God, I don't know. When we first met him, he was just so mysterious and exciting. It seemed like he had been everywhere and done everything. I convinced Gilda that we should invest in the hotel so I could stay close to him. But he never seemed to realize how I felt. I mean, we spent time together. Going hunting, having drinks, talking about his plans for the hotel. He must have known, but he never said anything. Do you have any idea what it's like to pine for someone for 200 years, Detective?
Tell me about yourself.
We went over this before, Detective. There's no motive.
Maybe you can give me a reason it couldn't be you.
I would never harm Ezra, Detective. I was in love with him.
Maybe later.
Okay. Just let me know how I can help.
Hello, Detective. Did you have a question about the heinous murder?
I think you're the real murderer.
That's just silly, Detective. Why would I want to kill Mr. Parker?
Maybe you can give me a reason it couldn't be you.
I'm sick all the time, Detective. I don't have the strength to do such a thing.
Ezra was embezzling your money. That's why you killed him and framed Keith.
You were so close, Detective.
It's a shame. I thought I could keep the ruse going a little longer. Oh, well. Had to end eventually, I suppose. This doesn't have to end in more violence, Detective. Just walk away. I'll leave, and you can tell them I escaped.
Ezra? You're alive.
Well, congratulations on catching up, Detective. Yes, I've been masquerading as Juliana for some time now.
What's it going to be, Detective? Join me in getting rich? Or die defending some outdated ideals?
Why did you kill Juliana?
I hadn't planned on it, but Juliana figured out what I was doing and had to be dealt with swiftly. I thought I could get a bit more money out of this place before making my escape.
Well, how is this going to go down?
Not a chance. Your murder spree stops here.
Then let us end this.
You're in for it now. Anyone you walk away from.
I found the killer. 'Twas Ezra. He killed Juliana and took her place to hide his tracks.
My word! I never thought Mr. Parker was capable of something like this. What happened when you confronted him?
He attacked me. But it's over now. Your residents are safe.
Here you are, Detective. Payment for your services and a bonus for uncovering such a heinous plot. I don't think we could have done it without you.
What was all that commotion?
Is everyone all right?
Ooh, something sounded exciting, Detective.
What was all that about, Detective?
That was quite the commotion. Did you need something, Detective? Need to restock on hunting or fishing supplies?
You picked me up in Vault 114. There are really over 100 of these things?